Hey gang, Chuck Barone here, Thursday, August the 11th, 2022. We want to welcome everybody to the show. Thank you guys as always for your support for the channel and the videos and all the things you do to help make the channel a success. We wouldn't be here without you guys, and we really want you to know how grateful we are. Busy day today, a lot of information, some stuff to talk about with you guys I think is important. But first, let's go through the market real quick. First thing I'm going to do is apologize for yesterday. When I was going through my market recap and I was making my notes for the show, I accidentally put Tuesday's stock close in yesterday, which had me way up. I had the markets flat, and as everybody knows, the markets rallied pretty big yesterday. That's one of the problems with doing your notes the way I do them. Every once in a while you're going to have a boo-boo like that, and I sincerely apologize. In the market today, I made sure I got the right day. The market was choppy today. The Dow eked out a small gain. NASDAQ and S&P both down. I think the markets are kind of trying to come to grips with the fact that the Fed is not quite done raising interest rates yet. There's been so much uncertainty in this market because it just seems like all this information is so conflicting. It makes it really difficult to kind of, you're either a bull or a bear, I guess. And we've been kind of leaning more toward the bear side, not telling anybody to get out of the market, just to invest more conservatively. Looks like the bulls might be winning this battle, at least for the short term here, guys. NASDAQ actually yesterday moved into bull market territory. Go figure. Now, NASDAQ had a loss today, just under 100 points. So I don't know if it's still in that bull market territory, but it's just astounding to me the way things are working because there's so much negative economic news, and at the same time, nothing is reacting as it normally would, getting negative economic news. It's an oddity. The bond market today, 10-year was up actually at 2.89%. The inversion is starting to narrow now. It was almost up to 50 basis points. It's shrinking down pretty good. I think if the bond markets could actually see a thing where they go from inverted back to normal, which would be really odd with no economic reaction in between. We'll see how all this stuff goes. I mean, this is going to play out for the rest of this year and into next year. So it's not like these day-to-day signs are going to be the determination of exactly where we're at, just indicators of where we're going. The dollar today was down marginally, but it's been getting pretty beat up over this week. 105.12 on the dollar index. I think that the dollar, of course, is digesting the fact that the Fed may not have to raise as aggressively as they kind of were indicating they would have to. So the rates, obviously stronger rates equal stronger dollar. I think they might be factoring in less rate hikes by the Fed than were originally thought. Surprisingly, with the dollar weakening, metals haven't really made any kind of rally. Gold was a small down day today at $1,791 per ounce. I'm waiting to see if gold can break through that $1,800 resistance number. I think if it can, that it's a good sign for gold and the rally will continue a little bit. Silver, on the other hand, has already broken through its resistance line at $20, closing today at $20.39. I think that silver is holding its own. It's been consolidating over $20. I'm looking for a little bit of a breakout on silver here. I think it has a ways to go to the upside over the short term. In the oil markets today, oil was up. West Texas Intermediate closing at $94.05 per barrel. Natural gas keeps rallying. $8.72 for their British thermal units, up over 6%. I think that natural gas had a little bit of a setback. As I said then, it looks like it was some profit taking by traders. As soon as that was done, the market rallied right back up and broke previous high. So I think natural gas still has a ways to go. And I think oil, there's some news on oil today. I guess OPEC, and now as demand for oil is falling, is talking about reducing their output by about 500,000 barrels a day. They're talking about we're going to get into a situation where they're overproducing. So not only will President Biden Carter's overtures towards Saudi Arabia have only gotten him just the smallest increase in production in history. It might also be the shortest increase in production in history as well. Bitcoin today, Bitcoin's doing pretty good, guys. It's up over 24,000. It's been consolidating pretty strongly. I'm looking to see for more consolidation and a continuing rally in Bitcoin. I think that it really kind of got a little bit oversold. I think that it shook out a lot of the weaker holders of Bitcoin. And I think the people who are in it now and are buying it now might be in it for a little bit more of a long haul than the shakeout we saw bringing it down to 19,000. And other news you guys need to hear today, as most of you guys have probably already heard, the P.P.I numbers came in today. That is the producer price index, the other half of the C.P.I, the consumer price index. This shows the inflation for businesses and producers. It came in at 9.8%, down from over 11% last month. This is the first decline in the P.P.I since April of 2020, which was a fact that surprised me. I didn't realize that, P.P.I had been rising every single month for more than 2 years. I think that this number is a little bit of a harbinger for things to come. Producers, as their prices go up, tend to not completely absorb those prices. So I think this is going to indicate we're going to have some continuing inflation, which should be no surprise to anybody. The number was less than the market expected, so I thought, especially earlier in the day when stocks rallied pretty big to start the day, I thought that the market would have a bit of a rally today, but it just kind of fizzled out at the end there. I want to see how this P.P.I number translates into the C.P.I next month. Last month's 11% didn't really translate into higher prices this month in the consumer price index. I want to see if this 9.8 maybe makes the consumer price index look not so great later on when it gets reported for August. Home prices today setting all new highs again at the end of the second quarter. I got to say, this is a phenomenon that just eludes me, guys. Here in Las Vegas, which I consider kind of the canary in the coal mine a lot of times for real estate, because we tend to kind of be the every city kind of, I guess, a little bit of the time. We're not reaching new highs here in Las Vegas. I'll tell you that right now. Since the end of the second quarter, our median price is down 20,000. I think that's just the start. I think I might have been a little bit pessimistic with how low I thought real estate prices were going to go. But I know they still have quite a ways to come down from $460,000 to make housing affordable here in Las Vegas. Jobless claims came in today up marginally. I don't think it's going to be a number that's going to scare the Federal Reserve and affect their, what they're planning as far as their rate hikes in the future go. I really kind of thought unemployment would be looking a lot worse than it has. That jobs number from last month is still a major mind blower to me. I can't believe so many people were hired. I'd like to know how many of those jobs from last month were jobs that paid, $10 an hour or less. Basically what I call throwaway jobs. I mean, can you imagine you're making $10 an hour? That's $400 a week. With the way these numbers are working and the way payments are going for everything, I don't know how even if you have two people, the husband and the wife making $10 an hour, I don't know how you possibly can live on, $3,000, a little over $3,000 a month gross. I don't know how people are pulling it off. Part of that, of course, though, is debt levels have been rising like crazy. We've talked about on this show many, many, many times. And I hope you all are taking my advice and doing everything you possibly can not to be adding on any new debt right now. I think that the big thing today that I saw that really disappointed me was the median rent in the United States passed $2,000 per month. Now that is the fastest pace of rent increases in over 3 decades. And the phenomenon is not only are rents really skyrocketing, making housing basically unaffordable. I mean, it's scary what's happening right now. But even at these prices, the bidding wars we were seeing in buying houses are now moving to renting houses, where people are actually in bidding wars trying to get rental properties to rent, and they're having to outbid each other, much to the happy smiles of landlords. I don't know how sustainable these numbers are, guys. If you figure it out, okay, let's just say that the average American is making about, I don't know, let's just say $4,000 a month to be use an easy round number. I really don't believe the median income is that high. How are people going to pay these bills? How are they going to do it? You got $2,000 a month for rent, $650 a month for a car payment. A lot of people having more than one car payment, so people are paying $1,000 a month just to have their car. That doesn't even include insurance and gas and maintenance and all the other stuff that goes with it. Then you add on credit card debt. The student loan moratorium is coming to an end, and people are going to be faced with making student loan payments again. Revolving debt's crazy. It's just the debt trap just keeps getting worse and worse. And the people who do not have their reserves put away, the people who aren't as prepared as hopefully the listeners to this blog are, they're going to be stuck, man. I mean, I think that this is the kind of stuff that can lead to revolution in a country where people can't afford a roof over their head. They can't afford to feed their families. Now, luckily, gas prices are coming down, so at least they can afford to get to work these days. But, I mean, I thought my mortgage was outrageous. And when I took it out, thankfully it's just about gone. But, the median rental price is twice what my mortgage is. It's just the most amazing thing. I don't know how people are going to continue to do this. I think that if rates continue to skyrocket, you're going to see more and more working families becoming homeless, crowding shelters, demanding or getting services from the government. This is going to be something that, I don't know what the solution to it is. I really don't. I guess building more and more properties for people to rent, low-cost properties. But this is a problem that's going to be ongoing. And the end of this could get very, very, very ugly, guys. To wrap up the show today, I wanted to wade into this little bit of a spaz I'm seeing about these 87,000 new IRS agents. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not as scared as the IRS as a lot of people are. My mentor, the genius, he always used to say he hopes he pays $1 million a year in taxes. And he would take every legitimate, deduction he possibly could. But he wasn't a guy that was looking to evade taxes. And I've never have been either. I feel like it's a privilege to live in this country. We get a lot of things we take for granted. I mean, do I want to pay less in taxes? Obviously. Would I like to pay no taxes at all? Obviously. I'm a normal guy. But I don't want to spend my life going crazy over having to pay taxes. We got a military that costs $1 trillion a year. We have tons of other programs we're doing. The government's spending bazillions of dollars. Somebody has to fund all this, and since it's obviously not Brazilianaires with their carried interest loopholes, it has to be guys like me. So this 87,000 IRS agents isn't a big scary thing to me like it's been and what I'm seeing on the interwebs. The rich people have been getting away with not being audited for years and years and years and years. It's been the IRS has been a target of the Brazilianaire lobbyist groups, working with their friends in the Senate and the Congress to kind of basically just bleed the IRS to death of agents and finance. How long did it take you to get your tax return this year, guys? Have you even gotten it yet? I think that having a few more people working at the IRS isn't going to be bad for people getting tax refunds. It's only going to be bad for people who are cheating on their taxes. So I'm not a fan of the IRS, so please don't blister me too hard in the comments, okay? I just think that if we want our government to run and be functional. We need to decide what's important. And I think making sure, now they keep saying that these IRS agents are not going to be targeted at the middle class, where I got to admit I have my doubts, but you know, what makes more sense? Are you going to go after the millionaire, you know, making $1 million a year? Or are you going to go after the schmuckatelli making $35,000 a year? I mean, what's in it for the IRS agent there, and how much cheating can the small taxpayer actually do? So take a deep breath on this IRS thing. They're probably not coming for you guys, okay? And take my mentor, the genius's advice, and hope that this year you have to pay $1 million in taxes. That would take a lot of the sting out of it, with knowing that you probably made $4 or $5 million to pay that much. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. I really appreciate your guys' support for the channel. As always, if you like what you're hearing, hit the like button, share the video with your friends and subscribers. Don't forget to ring the bell for your notifications. I know we've been hearing again that there's some issues with those. Don't forget to ask your questions in the comments. I got to most of the questions at askchuckbarone@gmail.com yesterday. I still have a few to get to today. I'll get to those. But we really appreciate your support, guys. Have a great day. Know that everything will work out in the end. Don't you worry about it. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks.